YouTube channel. Today I have something really cool to share with you guys. It's a perspective on receiving blessings in relationships or people in your life. And maybe a better way to look at that is how to not block blessings from people in your life. And this includes all different types of people. Acquaintances, people that you're in romantic relationships with, friendships, people that you're just passing by, and pretty much everything that would encompass people that you run into in your life. And in my previous video, I talked about self-acceptance, the practice of self-acceptance. And what this really gets at is being yourself, truly, being your spontaneous self. And that's the first point of this video, is tapping into that first and foremost, and then letting whatever naturally flows happen with people in your life. Instead of having expectations or presuppositions about people or judgments or anything like that, but really nurturing space to have spontaneous interactions with people in your life and letting whatever is there flow naturally. There's a really cool quote by Yogi Bhajan that says, "If you are willing to look at another person's behavior towards you as a reflection of the state of their relationship with themselves, rather than a statement about your value as a person, then you will, over a period of time, cease to react at all." And from that perspective, you can start to see people in your life as catalysts for certain things. Certain people that you'll run into will be a catalyst for deep conversation, and you'll spend hours with them talking about your dreams and the universe. There's certain other people that you'll run into that you'll just be silly around and laugh, and every time you get together, you'll just be joking around and laughing and don't even really know why. That's just what's there. You'll run into other people that are really good to work on projects with and stuff like that. I have one friend that comes to mind that pretty much all we do is get together and work on music projects, and I absolutely love it. But for whatever reason, we don't tend to do much else outside of that, and that's totally fine. That's what flows naturally, and I really appreciate it, and it's really awesome. And then you'll run into certain people in your life that are mentors that will give you wisdom and insights. And then you'll run into other people in your life that are catalysts for you to receive that through yourself, just by holding space for you, just by accepting who you are. Just for example, it's really interesting how therapists work. I saw a therapist for a while, about a year ago, and what I realized was all she was really doing was accepting me where I was at and listening. And through that process, I discovered that a lot of the answers I was looking for were like in myself, and just being in that space and allowing whatever it was to just come out and not being judged, I found a lot of answers within myself. And it's a really incredible blessing to be around people that allow you just to flow and just get things out. And it's amazing how many times you will just reveal things to yourself that are already there. So just to kind of add more light to this particular topic, allowing what is there naturally to flow, there's been a lot of times in my life where I've wanted certain things out of friends. Like for a long time I wanted to start bands and stuff like that, and I would meet people that are musicians and we would hang out, and I would get frustrated because we would get together and jam and start to make music, but it just never worked out. It never worked out, and I would see them in other bands and we would have good jam sessions sometimes, but it just never like fully came together. And what I've realized looking back now is most of the times with those people, they had other things to offer that were there naturally. They were actually really good friends a lot of time and had a lot of wisdom for me. And funny enough, now that I'm in a band project, what I realize is that what they were naturally giving to me was so essential for being in a band. You know, communicating and friendship and trust and that sort of thing. That's what was coming up naturally, and that's a really good example of how I blocked those blessings because I wanted something, and instead of receiving what was there naturally, I didn't allow it myself to receive it. Another really good example is just listening and holding space for someone to be also. Just as I was talking about the therapist doing that for you, it's really amazing how you can receive being around other people when you just do that for them. And there's a really cool parable, it's actually one of my favorite parables, of this professor or something like that who seeks this well-known rabbi in another country, and he goes all the way across the planet to see this rabbi guy. And he finally gets there, and the rabbi invites him in, and he has tea out, and the professor sits down, and the professor's just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Doesn't even give the rabbi time to like say anything. And the rabbi pours himself a cup of tea, and then he starts pouring the professor a cup of tea and just keeps pouring and pouring as he's talking until it overflows over the whole table. And the guy's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And he says, "How can I give you anything if you're already full?" And with that being said, there's another quote that I want to share from this book, Love and Sexuality, that says, "When you are in the presence of your master or any truly outstanding person, you must be receptive. You must keep quiet and listen so as to receive some of the treasure that is theirs, the wisdom that is theirs." Those two things go together really well, I feel like. And so it's amazing how many times we block wisdom from other people and insights from other people because we're so eager to impress them with our knowledge and where we know, and kind of get like a sort of self-validation through that. And so those are really great parables that really kind of relate directly to this topic. So the next question is, like, are you ready and open to receive whatever it is that you're looking for in relationships or friendships or whatever it may be? I know for a long time, playing music, people would give me compliments after I played a show or something like that, and I would just be like, I would just kind of push it away and not receive it. And I did that actually with pretty much anything. Anytime anybody gave me anything, I would just kind of be like, I don't deserve that, or I'm not worthy of that. And just like the whole self-acceptance thing, I found in my path personally, it's been really helpful just to be in that space, and when I don't feel deserving of something, receiving it from myself first and actually like being in that space. And now when people give me compliments, instead of pushing that away, I actually like take that and I'm like, thank you, and allow myself to feel it, and it's incredible. It's a really cool blessing. Also in relationship with this particular topic, focusing on what it is that you want in relationships. Focusing on actually having it instead of not having it. And it's really interesting how I've heard different people say this or give this advice for a while, and for the longest time it didn't really make sense. I just started practicing it. And it's incredible how it changes things. And I guess the way that I would kind of describe it from my perspective is whatever it is that you're focusing on, like let's say that you're in a relationship and you want a certain type of experience or something that you want to receive or feel. So if you focus on having it and being in that experience and imagining that being there, then you're nurturing your spontaneous interaction with the world to receive that. You're becoming vibrationally attuned with that experience. And on the opposite side, if you're focusing on the drama and people conspiring against you and all of these other things, then that's the relationship you're creating, because that's what you're thinking about. So your spontaneous relationship with the world is that. It's whatever you are internalizing all the time. I was sitting down with a mentor of mine recently, and he gave me a really cool perspective on relationships and heartbreak that I thought was really cool. Particularly when you're with someone. So particularly when you're with someone and it's amazing, it's like this amazing experience, and then they leave, and then you feel like super empty and you feel like worse than you've ever felt before. What my mentor said was like, that's actually a blessing, because that person revealed like a void or a hole in you that was already there. And it made me kind of imagine it as that hole was already there, and then this person came and filled it, and it felt awesome. And then they leave, and then you're just stuck with this hole. And he really helped me realize how that's a blessing, because now you're aware of this hole in you, this space, and you can be there with yourself in that space and allow yourself to feel whatever it is And through that practice, you become more complete. And then it's incredible in relationships in the future. After that, you have so much more to give. When two people are complete in themselves, they have so much more to give each other in a relationship. And with that being said, there's a really cool guy that I follow on Instagram. His name's Kyle Jones, and he has some awesome quotes on relationships that I want to share with you guys, particularly being like relationship with self and putting that first. And so he says, good relationships start with both partners having a good relationship with self. The moment one partner places their need for love, peace, and happiness in the other's hands, the relationship becomes dysfunctional. And he says, everyone wants healthy and loving relationships, but wanting something isn't enough. You have to become the thing wanted. Be healthy and loving to yourself. The secret to attracting healthy and loving relationships is putting the relationship with yourself first. And I really see that as, like I was saying earlier, that's what you're putting into your vortex. That's what you're becoming vibrationally attuned to. Once you're a match to that, once you are healthy and all of these other things that you want, other people that want that have that in themselves, are going to see that. And it's incredible how you attract people that are attuned to that too. You know, it's like you're feeling healthy and awesome and all of these good things, and you just attract people that are that also. Closing this video out, there's a quote by Lao Tzu that says, at the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are and you know what you want. I feel like that can be confusing, particularly because with my path, I feel continually that it's a process, it's an experience of discovery. But it's incredible to go through that process and discover what you want and what you don't like, and really that's already there. There's a really cool quote by Joseph Campbell. He says, follow your bliss and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. I feel like that's a great key to following that path of your being, of what Lao Tzu is saying. Getting into that is following your bliss, following things that light you up, that bring excitement and joy to you naturally, that give you energy that you can stay up late working on and you're excited to share with people. And in that aspect, and also in relation to relationships, specifically like romantic relationships, Teal Swan says, we're not here to be bound to someone forever. We're here to follow our individual bliss and allow the universe to align us with someone that's a match to that bliss. And with all that being said, I just want to wrap up this video, and I hope that gave somewhat of a good perspective on how to appreciate people that are in your life and not block the blessings that they have for you. Also, in the process of that, loving yourself, accepting yourself more, and having more to share with others, because there is an immense joy in sharing what you're naturally excited about and sharing your bliss with other people. If you guys found this video stimulating or interesting in any way, please like and leave a comment and subscribe. And I'm really just grateful to be sharing these with you guys. It's really just like a journey for me, and just growing and learning kind of how to do this. Yeah, just gratitude and peace. Love you guys.